Commander Alex Rayner sat alone in the research station's observation deck. The hum of the machinery was the only sound, steady and comforting. Outside the wide windows, the stars stretched endlessly, glittering like tiny shards of glass. Alex rubbed his temples. Weeks of isolation on the edge of explored space were wearing him down. He had expected loneliness, but the quiet was different now. He felt as if the universe itself was watching him, judging him. He poured himself a cup of coffee and leaned back in the chair. That was when he saw it. A small flash of light, sudden and bright, near the station's landing pad. At first he thought it was a meteor, but the light lingered. His hand went to the communicator. "Engineering, check the landing pad," he said, trying to keep his voice calm. The reply came quickly. "Commander, something has landed. We don't recognize the ship's signature." Alex's heart beat faster. Human-made ships were registered in the galactic network. This ship wasn't, it was alien. The craft was smooth, almost liquid in its shape, gliding silently over the pad. It seemed alive, pulsating with faint blue light. Alex stood gripping the railing. He knew he should call for backup, but curiosity had him frozen in place. The hatch opened slowly, and a figure stepped out. She was unlike any being Alex had seen. Tall, slender, with silver hair that caught the light like flowing metal. Her skin had a soft, pearlescent glow. Her eyes were large and dark, reflecting the station lights. And there was a calmness in her presence that felt strange, almost magnetic. She looked at him, and for a moment, Alex felt as if she could see inside him. Every thought, every doubt, every secret worry he had kept hidden from others. He felt she knew them all. He froze. "You are Commander Alex Rayner?" she asked, her voice soft, almost musical. Alex blinked. "Yes, who are you?" "I am Lyria," she said simply. "I have come to learn, and to help." Her words were clear, but there was something more. He couldn't explain it, but it was as if she had heard the questions in his mind before he asked them. Alex swallowed. "Learn? Help? From who?" She tilted her head slightly, and a faint smile appeared on her lips. "From you. From humans." That made Alex pause. Humans were explorers, builders, warriors, but to an alien. Did they see humans as something remarkable, or something foolish? Before he could respond, Lyria moved closer, gracefully, almost floating across the pad. She stopped a few feet from him. The air between them felt charged, and Alex felt a strange warmth in his chest. He wanted to speak, but words failed him. Instead, she sat. Not on a chair, just on the floor, her legs crossed, her posture elegant. She was close enough that Alex could see the faint shimmer of her skin, hear the soft intake of her breath. For reasons he could not explain, he found himself speaking aloud. You can hear me?" She shook her head. "I hear more than that." Alex's pulse quickened. His mind raced. He had trained for encounters with alien species, but nothing prepared him for this. He realized that Lyria's presence was more than physical. She could sense thoughts, emotions, intentions. Every fear he tried to hide, the fear of isolation, the fear of failure, the fear of being irrelevant in the vast galaxy. She knew. "I don't know if I can trust you," he admitted quietly. Her eyes softened. "Trust is not given lightly, Alex Rayner, but I have chosen to be here. I am not your enemy." Her words brought some relief, but a part of him remained cautious. He had seen too many first contacts end badly. "Why here?"
"Why now?"
Lyria's gaze drifted toward the planet below. "Because something is coming. Something dangerous. Your species, your planet, they are at risk." Alex's stomach tightened. He had seen signs, energy anomalies, strange radiation, but nothing concrete. "And you think you can help?" "I can help," she said, and her voice carried a certainty that made his own doubts feel small. For the first time in weeks, Alex felt something he hadn't felt in a long while. Hope. The rest of the day passed in a strange blur. Lyria asked questions not with words alone, but as if she could sense his thoughts. Alex explained the station's research, their goals, and the anomalies they had noticed in the nearby sector. She listened carefully, sometimes nodding, sometimes simply closing her eyes and appearing to absorb information directly. When night fell, Alex found himself sitting beside her, still unsure if this was wise. He glanced at her and she smiled faintly. "You do not need to speak everything," she said. "I know more than you realize," he chuckled softly. "That makes me nervous." "And yet you feel relief," she replied. Alex paused, realizing she was right. Despite the danger, despite the unknown, he felt calmer. The loneliness, the pressure, the endless isolation, they felt lighter because she was here. He didn't fully understand why, but he knew one thing. Her presence changed everything. Then the station's alarms blared. Red lights flashed, warning of an approaching signal. Alex's hands flew over the console. What now? Lyria stood gracefully. They have noticed me, and they are not friendly, Alex swallowed. He had expected danger from the unknown, but not this fast. He looked at Lyria, at her calm expression, and realized that the next few hours would determine more than just the station's safety. They might determine the future of humans in this sector, and for the first time, he felt ready. Not because he had all the answers, but because he wasn't alone. She was there, close enough to hear every thought he didn't speak, and somehow that made all the difference. The alarm still echoed through the research station, red lights reflecting off the walls. Commander Alex Rayner moved quickly, issuing orders to the remaining crew. Seal the outer doors. Lock down the labs. Get the scanners on the intruders. But inside his mind, one thought kept repeating. Lyria. She stood calmly near the observation deck window, watching the approaching ships outside. Her presence was steady, almost unnerving, and yet it gave him courage. Somehow, even when danger pressed in from every side, he felt he could rely on her. They are not human, Lyria said softly, almost to herself. Her voice carried over the intercom, but there was something more, something Alex felt in his mind. A thought, a feeling, a warning. She was trying to convey danger, but also a way forward. Alex frowned. What are they after? He asked, though he knew she could sense his doubts before he spoke. They want control of this sector, Lyria said. Her eyes narrowed slightly. They do not care about life here. Only dominance, Alex swallowed. He had known other alien species were capable of cruelty, but hearing it in her calm, almost clinical voice made it real. We can't fight them head-on, he admitted. Not with just this station. She stepped closer. Her presence felt like a shield. You do not fight as you think. Humans have something different, something they do not see in themselves. Alex hesitated. He wasn't sure what she meant. Humans were strong, yes, adaptable, yes, but could that really matter to a species that controlled thousands of ships? Lyria seemed to sense his skepticism. She tilted her head and smiled faintly. Watch and learn. For the next few hours, the station became a hive of activity. Alex coordinated the crew while Lyria moved through the corridors with ease, touching screens and consoles as if she could understand their functions without training. Sensors and monitors that had baffled the humans suddenly displayed clear, organized readings under her touch. She's amazing, muttered Lieutenant Mara, one of the station's engineers. It's like she knows the station better than we do. Alex nodded, but he didn't speak. Words felt useless. He was still trying to understand how someone or something could read thoughts and yet act with precision and purpose. Then the enemy ships appeared on the scanners. Sleek black vessels moving fast and silent. Alex felt a shiver run down his spine. They had weapons that could destroy the station in minutes, but Lyria remained calm. Standing beside him, her gaze locked on the approaching threat. You will need to think differently, she said, almost gently. Use what is within you. Trust your instincts. Alex's instincts told him one thing, fight, but fight smart. He studied the map of the sector. The enemy was fast but predictable. They followed patterns, and Alex realized he could use the planet itself as a shield. If they positioned the station near the atmospheric storms, the enemy would have to navigate dangerous turbulence to reach them. Lyria, can you help me calculate the path? He asked, still unsure if she would respond. Instead of words, he felt her thoughts brush against his own, a series of numbers, angles, possibilities. His mind filled with calculations he had not performed. He realized she was feeding him the insights without speaking. Yes, he said aloud, a grin forming. This could work. We can make them underestimate us. The crew followed his orders, moving the station into the storm's edge. Energy shields hummed as systems were reinforced. Alex felt the tension mounting. Every second counted, and every decision had to be perfect. When the enemy ships approached, they were met not with fear, but with a carefully timed defense. Energy pulses flared, knocking one of the ships off course. Another collided with a natural lightning storm, damaging its hull. Alex's heart raced, but he kept his focus. Beside him, Lyria's presence never wavered. he realized something strange. He could almost feel her confidence merging with his own, giving him clarity where uncertainty had ruled before. After hours of tense maneuvering, the enemy retreated, damaged but not destroyed. The station was intact. Alex exhaled slowly, relief washing over him. He looked at Lyria. "Why did you help us?" he asked quietly as the crew began repairs. She smiled softly. "Because I see potential. Humans are stronger than they believe. Even when they doubt themselves, they can achieve what others cannot imagine." Alex's mind reeled. He had spent years believing in human resilience, but hearing it from someone who had likely seen countless civilizations gave it weight. "And you trust us now?" Her gaze softened, almost like the touch of sunlight. "I do not trust blindly, but I see courage. I see ingenuity. That is enough." The following day, the station's scanners detected the source of the energy anomaly Lyria had mentioned. It was a massive pulse coming from the planet below, a remnant of ancient technology buried deep in the crust. Alex realized the threat was far bigger than the enemy ships. If left unchecked, it could destabilize the planet and send dangerous energy into space, affecting neighboring systems. "We need to investigate," Alex said. "This could be catastrophic." Lyria's eyes brightened slightly. "Then we must go together. You and your people, guided by what I can teach. We will understand it before it harms anyone." Alex hesitated. Humans had faced dangerous planets before, but this felt different. Lyria's telepathy added a layer of complexity. He would have to trust her completely to survive and to protect the planet. The next few hours were filled with preparations. Supplies were gathered, suits were checked, and transport vehicles were readied. Alex noticed that the crew, initially skeptical of Lyria, now worked with her willingly, as if her presence gave them courage they did not know they had. When the descent began, the planet's surface stretched below them, forests and plains, rivers sparkling under alien sunlight and jagged mountains that rose like teeth. The energy readings grew stronger as they approached a canyon where the signal originated. Lyria moved ahead, seemingly sensing the safest path through the terrain. Alex followed closely, relying on her guidance and his own instincts. Every step reminded him that human determination, combined with Lyria's abilities, made them a powerful team. As they reached the source of the anomaly, Alex saw it, a massive crystalline structure, glowing with energy, partially buried in the rock. It pulsed rhythmically like a heartbeat. The ground trembled slightly with each pulse. This is ancient technology," Alex whispered. "But it's alive. Somehow." "Yes," Lyria said. "It holds power beyond your understanding. And if it falls into the wrong hands, it could destroy more than this planet." Alex nodded. The weight of responsibility pressed down on him, but he did not feel fear. He felt readiness. For the first time, he truly understood what Lyria had meant. Humans could rise to challenges that seemed impossible when they trusted themselves and worked together. Lyria turned to him. "We will face danger. You must trust me, and you must trust yourself." Alex met her gaze. "I do, for all of us." Above them, the sky darkened as storm clouds gathered, but Alex felt a spark of hope. The storm could not touch the courage of humans united with an ally who understood them more deeply than anyone ever could. As Part 2 closes, Alex and Lyria step closer to the crystalline structure, ready to uncover its secrets, knowing that the future of their world, and perhaps the galaxy, depends on what they do next. The storm above the planet roared like an angry beast. Lightning danced across the sky, illuminating jagged mountains and deep canyons. Commander Alex Rayner and Lyria stood at the edge of the crystalline structure, its pulsing glow reflecting in their eyes. Every instinct told Alex that danger was near. He could feel it in the trembling ground, hear it in the faint hum of the structure, and sense it in Lyria's calm but alert presence. "This is more powerful than anything I have seen," Alex muttered, stepping closer. His boots crunched on the rocky surface. "How do we even begin to control it?" Lyria's gaze was steady. "Not control, balance. We must work with it, not against it. This energy is part of the planet. If you force it, it will destroy everything." Alex nodded, trying to absorb her words. He had led countless missions, faced alien threats, and navigated the void of space, but nothing had prepared him for this moment. He realized that the survival of the planet, the station, and possibly the sector depended on human courage, combined with trust in someone beyond their species. The crystalline structure pulsed faster, and the air around them shimmered with energy. Alex could feel a low vibration in his chest, like the heartbeat of the planet itself. He looked at Lyria. "What do we do?" "Focus," she said softly. "Empty your mind, but stay aware. Let me guide you." He took a deep breath, shutting out fear, doubt, and hesitation. Lyria extended her hand toward the crystal. The energy seemed to respond to her touch, glowing brighter and shifting colors like liquid light. Then she looked at Alex, silently urging him forward. He stepped closer, placing his hands near hers. At once, a surge of understanding flooded his mind. He could sense the structure's energy, its patterns, its rhythms. It was alive, ancient, and yet it trusted him. The fear melted away. Together they began to align their efforts. Lyria's telepathy guided Alex, helping him understand the pulses, the waves of energy, the subtle shifts that indicated stability or danger. The structure reacted, slowing its pulse, becoming calmer under their combined influence. Suddenly, a loud crack split the air. From the sky above, the rival alien ships that had attacked the station earlier appeared again, drawn by the energy signal. They hovered in formation, weapons charging. Alex felt a surge of urgency. The structure was nearly stable, but any attack now could destroy it. And them. "We have no time," Alex whispered. "We can't fight them and stabilize the crystal at the same time." Lyria's eyes shone with determination. "You do not need to fight. You need to be clever. Let me show you." The alien ships fired, but Lyria's energy manipulation, combined with Alex's quick thinking, created a field that redirected the energy blasts. Rocks and debris flew through the air, creating obstacles that disrupted the ship's aim. The aliens were skilled, but they had never faced a human who could predict and adapt at the speed Alex did, guided by someone who could sense the flow of energy itself. Alex realized that humans had a unique strength: creativity. While the alien ships followed logic and protocols, he could improvise. Using the terrain and the crystal's energy, he sent pulses that disrupted the ship's systems temporarily. Each move he made was amplified by Lyria's telepathy, forming a perfect synchronization between human ingenuity and alien perception. Hours seemed to pass in minutes. The storm intensified, the sky crackling with raw power, but the duo did not falter. Alex could feel his own heartbeat syncing with the crystal, Lyria, and the storm. It was as if the entire planet and everything on it was holding its breath. Finally, the last alien ship faltered, engines smoking, and retreated. Alex exhaled, a mixture of exhaustion and relief flooding his body. The structure's glow softened, pulsing slowly and steadily. Lyria smiled, her calm presence a balm to his nerves. "You did it," she said, placing a hand briefly on his shoulder. "Not just you, but humans. You trusted yourself and you trusted me. That combination saved this world." Alex looked at her, humbled. We actually did it." "Yes," Lyria replied. "And others will notice. The galaxy has watched humans for centuries, often underestimating you. But this shows what you are capable of. Courage, ingenuity, empathy, all together." Alex realized the truth of her words. Humans had been seen as primitive by many species, bound by their biology and emotions. But it was precisely those qualities, adaptability, persistence, and the ability to connect, that made them extraordinary. After securing the crystal, they returned to the station. The crew greeted them with relief and awe. No one spoke at first. The events had been too intense, too overwhelming, but soon whispers of admiration filled the corridors. Humans and Lyria had faced an almost impossible challenge and emerged victorious. Over the next few days, the station repaired and strengthened its systems. The energy readings stabilized, and Lyria shared her knowledge about the crystal and its ancient origin. Alex listened closely, fascinated. The structure was part of a network of ancient planetary defenses, designed to protect worlds from destruction. In human hands, guided wisely, it could become a source of peace and stability. Misused, it could annihilate entire systems. Alex found moments to speak quietly with Lyria. Sitting together in the observation deck, the stars stretched endlessly before them again. He noticed the small details he had not before, the way her eyes caught the light, the faint pulse of energy around her, the calm strength that radiated from her presence. "You stayed," he said softly, almost to himself. "After everything, you stayed." "I stayed because I believe in humans," Lyria replied, her voice gentle, almost musical. "And because I see something in you. Something worth protecting, worth trusting." Alex felt a warmth he could not explain. He had spent years leading, commanding, surviving, but this was different. This was connection, understanding, and respect in its purest form. As the days passed, messages from other sectors began arriving. Word of their actions had spread. Humans were no longer seen as a minor race on the galactic stage. Their courage, combined with insight from allies like Lyria, had earned them recognition. Alex realized this was only the beginning. Humanity's rise in interstellar affairs was no longer a possibility. It was underway. Yet, even with recognition and success, Alex's thoughts often returned to Lyria. She sat beside him sometimes, close enough that he could feel her presence, sometimes guiding him with her thoughts when he faltered, sometimes just listening. Her quiet understanding gave him strength, and he realized that true partnership did not always require words. One evening, as the twin suns set over the horizon, casting golden light across the station, Alex looked at Lyria and whispered almost to himself, "Thank you for trusting me and letting me trust you." She turned her gaze to him, a faint smile curving her lips. "The galaxy has seen your courage, but sometimes the greatest strength lies in connection, in understanding." In moments like this, Alex nodded, feeling a sense of peace he had never known. Humanity had faced the unknown and survived. They had shown that intelligence, creativity, courage, and trust, qualities they often underestimated in themselves, could match the greatest powers in the galaxy. And sitting beside him, Lyria was a reminder that humans could inspire even those far beyond their world. Their story, their actions, had begun to reshape perceptions. They were no longer underestimated. They were no longer just survivors. They were humans, resilient, clever, brave, and together, they could face anything. As night fell and stars blanketed the sky, Alex realized that the journey was far from over. There would be more threats, more challenges, more unknowns. But for the first time, he felt certain that humans, working together and trusting their instincts, could meet them all. And somewhere in the quiet, in the unspoken connection between him and Lyria, Alex knew that the universe had just begun to see what humans were truly capable of.